Welcome back to our city, and I'm pleased to be joined at the beginning of this show by Mr. Jim McCarthy, who is a certified financial planner and a practitioner at McCarthy Wealth Solutions, LLC. Jim, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So tell us, first of all, Elizabeth Financial Planning Day. Have you been involved before? This is your first one?
This is my first one here in Elizabeth.
Okay, but you've been involved in financial planning days
I have.
elsewhere. Tell us about your experience.
Well, the objective of Financial Planning Day is to allow people to experience firsthand how financial planning can really improve their lives. It gives us an opportunity to bring professional investment managers and professional financial planners to people that might normally not otherwise have access to sound financial planning advice.
You know, sometimes people think financial planning is only for people with a lot of money, but in essence, the people that are middle class, it's more important for.
I would agree wholeheartedly. Without a plan, you really don't know where you're going, right? I mean, it's like setting out on a vacation without knowing your destination. So it's critical to have a plan, and it helps sometimes to have somebody guide you in that.
Now, how did you get involved in this, Jim?
I'm a certified financial planner, and I'm also a member of the Financial Planning Association, so I volunteered.
And who's eligible to participate?
As far as the volunteers or people?
No, the volunteers.
You have to be a certified financial planner and a member of the Financial Planning Association.
And the people, anybody?
As far as attendees, yes, it's open to everybody. Everyone is encouraged to come with their concerns about money. Basically, these groups of financial planning associations are doing this free as a way to give back to the community to hopefully help people succeed financially.
Now, Jim, tell me some of the things that you may find when some folks sit down with you, and what kind of questions are asked of someone with your background?
Well, one of the main ones is how am I going to be able to retire? That's probably the first one.
And you tell them no.
I say yes, but maybe we have to work on it a little bit.
Right.
But it's mostly, where are they going to be down the road? That's a big concern for a lot of people. I'd say the second biggest concern probably is dealing with health issues. Healthcare, obviously there's been some changes in the healthcare laws and plans, so that's a big issue. And then for younger families, a big one is saving for child's education.
And how do you advise them to go into the plans that exist in New Jersey, or what? How do you know what's right when these person sits down with you at a free seminar? And do you follow up with meetings on financial planning? How does that happen?
Well, for this particular event, the Financial Planning Day is completely free, and there's no selling. It's no strings attached. Anybody who attends will get access to the volunteer financial planners' contact information if they wish to reach out and schedule further discussions. They're free to do that, but they're under no obligation to do that. To your first question about how do you know what's the right solution, that usually involves a couple of meetings with clients to really to really understand what their needs and concerns are, what their current situation is, before you can really best advise them on how to move forward.
And when it comes to the Health Care Act, do you advise people on exactly what plan? You don't get into the planning, you just get into the financing of the Health Care Act.
Correct. We don't necessarily help them. We'll guide them to places where they can go to get adequate information to make decisions on their healthcare choices. And then, yes, we'll certainly work with them in terms of how best to pay for that. As an example, some employers have plans that offer HSA, health savings accounts. Those have benefits and pros and cons like anything does. So, we can help a client understand if that's the right choice for them and their family depending on their needs.
Well, since you mentioned that, my daughter got braces. One of the first years this health savings plan came out, and it was an allowable use under the plan. So I had them deduct the money from my paycheck, which saves you money in taxes in the long run.
It does. By using an HSA.
It was like $2,000 I took out or something.
Yes, you can, there's various limits whether you're single or a family, depending on the underlying health plan, but you can contribute pre-tax, so you can lower your taxable income and save some taxes, and basically put that money into an account that then you can have medical expenses, qualified medical expenses, as you said, deducted directly from that account. So it saves the individual or the family money by saving some taxes.
And the thing about that, though, is you have to, if you don't use it, you lose it in most cases, correct?
Well, there's two different things now. You're talking about a FSA, which is called a flexible spending account, and that is a use it or lose it. You can contribute X amount of dollars during the year pre-tax, but if you haven't spent it on qualified medical expenses by the end of the year, you lose it. An HSA, which was a different type but similar, is called a health savings account. That is not. That's a permanent account. That's portable. You can take it with you if you change employers. So that's clearly an advantage over the flexible spending account. The difference is you can do, in most cases, a flexible spending account, an FSA, regardless of the type of health insurance plan you have. A health savings account, an HSA, is strictly linked to what's called a high deductible health care plan.
So tell me, if for the average person who might be watching this show or hears about it through another means, what should they bring to a financial planning day?
Well, there's a couple of tips on that. One is they should bring some relevant financial documents. So that would be like your 2013 federal tax return, any investment account statements, recent investment account statements like IRAs, 401ks from an employer or 403b. If they want to get some idea before they come this Saturday, they could go to www.financialplanningdays.org/topics. And there they'll see a list of the type of topics and questions that they could ask at the event. The other thing would be to bring a snapshot of their current financial situation, their assets, their liabilities, income and expenses. And again, at that same website, www.financialplanningdays.org. I know that's long.
Now, are there presentations at this event, Jim? Or?
There are. There are bilingual presentations. There are one-on-one consultations available, as well as information booths.
Now, is there when you say there's no obligation, do people come here, do they have to worry about follow-up cold calls or anything like that?
No, the only thing they'll be asked to do is take a survey at the end just so we can assess whether they really got a benefit out of it, but there'll be no follow-up whatsoever, no selling at the event or afterwards. Again, they will be given a list of the volunteer financial planners. It's up to them if they want to reach out to the financial planners.
Now, do some do that, Jim?
Occasionally, yeah. We shared a friend that we both know who I met at an event just like this, and that's exactly how we became friends and client, and she became a client.
Oh, okay.
So that's exact. Sometimes it happens, yes. It's up, but that's people who come to this event here in Elizabeth this Saturday should have no worries that any of the volunteers are going to be trying to sell them anything. They should be thinking about this as purely information gathering for themselves, and if they feel that they want to pursue that further, they'll have the resources to do that, but that's up to them.
How do you guys do in this? Do you, I mean, you naturally you're giving back to the community.
Sure.
But on occasion you'll get some clients out of this too.
Yeah, occasionally.
Yeah,
I mean,
which is a good thing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But for the most part, the volunteers are really doing it because it's part of our part of what we do for our community.
And these are down around the country during the month of October.
They
correct?
are. It's again, one of the sponsors is the United States Conference of Mayors, as you mentioned, and so there are a number of them around the country all around the same time.
Jim, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us on the show.
It was my pleasure.
And talking about the Certified Financial Planning Day, and I wish you well, and I thank you for volunteering your time as well.
It was a pleasure. Look forward to it.